I sure do love when games don't allow audio to play when you're not in them. That is great. It's so helpful. Nice. I hope everybody is having a nice day so far, though. Just making sure I've got stuff going and it's all working properly and, you know, things that there would usually be a little bit of game audio for, but currently there cannot be because Phantasy Star is one of these games that it just does not like you having audio when not clicked properly into the game. Everything appears to be working though. So let's get audio. And then let's get me up here. I know it's quite a downgrade. Let's just get back to that's quite the upgrade. No. So hourly event about to start, so I should probably get it to the quest counter. Actually, it has started. I'm pretty sure this is one I can solo, so I'm gonna. There's a rappy somewhere doing rappy things. I actually don't know if I can solo this one. I've done it on very hard. Wait, I know this one. Do I bother? That's the thing. No parties. No parties. No parties anywhere. At least not on this block. Nah, I'm kind of good. What I need to do, however, is this. Because this is what my dailies are for. So, let's hop into a very hard of Big Varder. He's pretty big, and he is a Varder. I may as well mention at the beginning of this, I have been considering and toying with the idea of seeing about getting like a Vtuber model done. At least for streaming. Videos will probably still have this ugly mug, but you know, I just want to try out Vtuber thing. Anyone who's been watching me for a while is probably sitting there like, but you hate VTubers. It's like, yeah, kinda. Though I don't really hate them. It's awkward. It's hard to explain. So, I've had multiple instances of creators I watch moving completely away from, like, non-VTuber stuff to VTuber stuff. And these will be creators that, like, they're very expressive and active, and it's like, okay, but you've just made your content worse. Because you've just lost a lot of your expressiveness. Well, let's see. Can I find what I'm after? Here's one crystal. But, like, I don't feel like I'm terribly expressive. So, I don't feel like that would be a big downside for me. Might actually be quite an upside. Okay. This one, D4. There's the other one. Oh, I got 4 materials. I guess it felt bad for me with usually not doing terribly well with these. Really? Okay. Hi, PSE Burst. I was not expecting one of you so soon. That one was in the wall. I also want to note something I find kind of amusing that more or less that Sega's dealing with again when it comes to New Genesis specifically. Apparently there's some new content that was recently added that's pretty difficult, and the player base is doing what the player base has always done. AKA, leave when there isn't a ranger. Like, it's one of those things of, I've seen that so many times in the past. Hard content gets released, and then immediately, like, there isn't a ranger in the party, gotta leave. Isn't, like, a force in the party, gotta leave. We don't have the best damage we can possibly have, gotta leave, this will be a failure. Like, that happens so much with the original PSO2 here, that weak bullet got nerfed. Like, it's hardly necessary anymore. It's nice to have, but you can get by without it just fine, to the point where a lot of rangers don't even particularly use rifles anymore, because you can get by just fine without weak bullet. Honestly, the class that tends to use weak bullet the most these days is hero, because you just carry the rifle to weak bullet and then go from there. So much mist. I just spent a bunch of Mesta, so that's probably a good thing to get. But, like, that's kind of the problem with trying to build difficult content for Phantasy Star. Like, where this game doesn't follow the traditional, like, tank, healer, DPS roles, everybody needs to be capable of doing things. But when you have one, maybe two classes able to output either a lot of damage or that are able to buff everyone else's damage, well, then you need to take those into account for making your hard content. Which means that, you know, can't do a bunch of mag food with me. You need to kind of make it, if you want to make it hard, you need to make those required. You make those required, and suddenly you end up in the situation where now people just don't even bother if they don't have the right teammates, but they don't want to be those teammates. Like, way back during weak bullet meta with this version. I'll play more collection. I don't know what I did when I got kind of annoyed that there wasn't all that many rangers. I started playing ranger. Because if you know, feel like you need it to complete the difficult mission, then you may as well do it yourself. Try and keep an eye out for where... It's D5. That's so far away, isn't it? No. That's back down in the big open area. Oh, there's one. . I mean, it kind of falls into the same sort of thing as to why, like, there are some, like, say, Paladin exclusive damage mitigations that will simply just never be required. And that just simply comes down to their Paladin exclusive with 14. Like, you can't require that to be needed when there are 4 tanks and the Paladin has more mitigations than anybody else. You kind of have to build content around the weakest link. Which means there's going to be some content that, say, a Paladin in 14 is going to clown on defensively because they just have more mitigations than any other class, any of the other tank classes. Like, Paladin itself in Final Fantasy 14 has a built-in mitigation without pressing any buttons because they have their shield. Like, it's to that level where everyone else, the only built-in mitigation they have is parrying, which everybody can do. The Paladin can also do that. So that's not anything unique. Technically, there is one other class that can technically block, and it's like early White Mage. But even they quickly move to two-handed weapons and lose the ability to use their little shield doodad. Which almost makes you wonder why they spent development time making the little shield doodads. Right, I need to eat a meal. Hold on. It's one of my daily things. I made some jerky earlier. Yeah. I also need a drink. I should have thought of that before getting into this, but... red meat from machines. The best kind of red meat. The mechanical kind. Gibraltar's the cone, right? Yeah. Almost doubling its levels. Barely any increase. But I mean... Oh right, I took it off my bar. This is the other one. I should probably put it back on if I'm honest. So I can more easily make use out of it. The only major issue is just, while I can make more of a use out of it, like, why would I? It's kind of the problem with magic in this game, is like, chain lightning's kind of busted. So while you can use other spells, why would you? Chain lightning's better. The answer is there is some very kind of niche situations where it's not better, but and it doesn't have the longest range. You know, there are reasons, but they're kind of niche if I'm honest. I also gotta remember I actually have Shifta now. I could be using that. Hey there, big boy. Ready to get zapped. And honestly, at like a moment like this, the fireball is probably better. Especially because the fireball can more easily hit things. Well, hit the boss multiple times, I should say. Because if I can angle it right, it can indeed hit a few times, but... Ow. Rude. It's very rude of you, sir. Get my health back. Just need to get these going. Ow. I do not like this boss. Ow. Please, sir. I need you to just die. That's what I need. Thank you. Well, I evaded the damage at least. Nothing. There should be a couple of my thingies done. Get a unique weapons badge. Can I, like... I can. Just give me this one. Yeah. I don't think it actually worked. I need to start a new quest for that one. Or I could just come to the... lady over here. This also works. I think I actually just want the photon drink. Give me a bit more PP. Now, what else do I have for dailies? Super hard expedition. Complete a daily order. I'm pretty sure I have completed a daily order. Yes. Completed all the daily orders I had queued up for.
Drop by any time. Which quest are you up for?
Well, let's do super hard of this. I should be able to do this, no problem. I hope.
Good luck. I'm ready to
Alright.
Let's do this,
There we
boss.
go.
Be careful,
Yeah, I can just chunk that.
If we're gonna do this, let's go.
Alright. I was in the zone. It's very much a case. 8,000. 11,000. They're not even weak to this. Now, the faster charge on my fire does probably make it fast, like, better DPS, but I missed. It does still cost more PP. No, the Rappies were not trying to dodge. They don't try to dodge, that's the thing. Well, I mean, they do, it's just they only do it after, like, they've been knocked down and they get up again. Good. Thank you, game. Man, Rappy, please. It's time for you to go down, little buddy. But yeah, it is just kind of amusing to me that Sega is dealing with the same issue they'd already dealt with and fixed in the past of people leaving because no ranger. Now, you would think, given how overbalanced a lot of the other classes feel, that they would have already, you know, they would have kept that lesson going forward with the Ranger, too. I hadn't even looked at the Ranger in New Genesis, so... directly up. Boss is gonna be difficult. But that's fine. I will say I have been playing more New Genesis on my main character. And like... I think, honestly, the only real issue I've been having is I've been playing Slayer, and the issue has been gunblades. I'm almost constantly running into, I wish I had a better gunblade. So for the moment, I'm pretty sure I've got that pretty solved. Finding cocoons has also been a bit of a pain, but thankfully there's a map on Ark's Visvone that has all of them. Oh, this isn't actually the way forward. I thought it would be. Oh, it's a way to more experience. I did find it really amusing. There was one quest I was doing in New Genesis last night where it was like, oh man, we're being attacked from above. smash open those crystals and throw things at them, as it was basically tutorializing me on that, as I'm just charging the gunblade, shooting the enemies. It's like, what game? I have a ranged weapon. You expect me to need to use things to throw? I have range. Honestly, most classes are ranged. Or at least have ranged options. I mean, I do understand why they were tutorializing on the crystal-y things, given, you know, boss fight at the end of that little subquest, well, main quest line thing, was a lot easier with using them, but... Also, man, I gotta say, my brain in a lot of this zone particularly is just like, man, I want to play Monster Hunter right now. I should really get back to World at some point. Not World, Wilds. Yeah, World. I've not technically not finished World yet either. Bit of Iceborne I haven't done.
Stole my kill. Want to learn?
Man, this is so nice. Like, it's very much a case of, even if this was actually dealing a little less damage than, the fire spell, it would still be better just because of its ease of hitting multiple targets. And there were multiple targets to be hitting. Rappies, arrest them! Arrest the Rappies!
You missed. Code. Arrest.
That one had machinery. That one was the real criminal.
Congratulations on
The Rappies are learning how to use technology. I hit the wrong button.
got a lot to learn.
I just hit the wrong button again. I'm not gonna have my critical field for this boss unless I stand around and wait for it. Whoops. I am still waking up. I also do not get the most sleep, so... Fun. I'll have a few seconds of it. Not many seconds, but a few.
Emergency.
Man. Bots just wait for the worst moments. I'll, remove that from the YouTube chat when I have a chance. Nobody go to that link. Ow. Zap! 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 Ow. Zap! I think I have to completely declawed him. Ow. There we go. Now, get that removed from the YouTube chat.
Completed.
There we go. I really need to get around to adding a auto mod to my chats so that I can just have those bots immediately dealt with. I bookmarked one yesterday that I was like, I should use that. And I just never got around to actually putting it on my channel. So, yeah. I'm that kind of lazy. If you ever wondered what kind of lazy I am, that kind. Literally have the thing that, you know, could solve my problems bookmarked. I just haven't actually done anything with it. Okay, got the silver key.